evening, Joffrey.
Good evening. Afternoon.
So what was that thing you were talking about earlier, barbecuing in the nude?
No, I wasn't. It said barbecuing in my jammies.
Oh, misread it. My bad. Are we live? Did that actually
I think we are.
Just go out?
Can we say the word nude?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Right.
Why not?
Awesome.
Well, hey, everyone. Welcome to Where the Dogs of Society Howl. Today's show is titled Process Over Panic at the Disco. It was tentatively called Orangeade Rockstar Bomb Making and Brand Growth, but we decided not to use that one. It seemed a little too, as they say, incendiary.
It sounds a little ultra processed.
Did you see what I did? Yeah, right?
I saw that.
I get that. Okay, cool. So Gavin Conkle's in the house. They've released him recently from the asylum, which is nice. I hope he stays on the straight and narrow this time for more than 20 minutes. Scott Fisk is here. He's got a fresh shirt on. So he and Jeff aren't matchy-match.
Right.
And we're assuming pants also, Scott. Brenda Steele's in the motherfucking house. Hi, Brenda. Welcome back. We're glad to see you. And anybody else I missed, the rest of you are coming in. We'll try to save you a seat, but the coffee and donuts are long gone. So we've got a great show today, Jeff, don't we?
Absolutely. Wonderful.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be
Bring
lovely.
it. Bring it.
Yeah, man. We're going to be talking about creative process, creative leadership, startup growth, creative, all that stuff. And we're going to talk about it in a way that doesn't suck the life out of the room. So for the next 57 minutes, it should be a pretty good time, I'd say.
Yes.
Which is what they used to call me in high school. A pretty good time.
I thought you were going to say they called you suck the life out of the room.
I'm sorry, what? How dare you? How dare you?
He said,
Mr. Litcofsky, how dare you?
How dare I?
Oh, boy. So, of course, we've got our good friend Kogs coming in today, and things are looking good. The sun is out. We've got about 1.5 miles of snow here in New Hampshire, which is insane. So that'll be fun. And the ice dams on my roof currently look like sort of they're equivalent to, I think, the 2 or 3 miles of ice covering the lush green continent, also known as Antarctica. For those of you who actually took the fucking time to congratulate me on my 2-year anniversary with Where the Dogs of Society Howl, thank you. The rest of you, you're dead to me.
You're on the naughty list. Forget it.
I didn't know what to do with it. There was so many notes coming in and things from around the world. I was like, what the heck? But cool.
Peeps.
I appreciate it. I mean, it really hasn't been 2 years, Jeff, has it?
I don't know how long it's been. I know what I do know is that for the LinkedIn Live, this is our 40th episode.
And you know what they say about the 40th episode, right?
Nope, I don't.
Neither do I. If anybody knows, please put it in the comments. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So without further ado, I guess we should just really fire it up here, shouldn't we? So we've got a digital marketing vet with a sales ops brain. He's the kind of leader who builds growth systems that don't collapse the second reality shows up. He's a father of 4 and a grandfather of 400. Nope, wait, 4. I read that wrong. He's a sports nut. He loves him some hockey and American-style football and F1, not the booth of the future. No, F1, the racing. He also happens to be an obsessive Lego person with an embarrassing inventory, which I don't think is embarrassing at all. I think it's relatively, in fact, completely impressive. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Toby Eborn. He is the business development for Rock Salt Marketing. And I believe it's co-op, but maybe not. We'll find out. Hey, Tobes.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Can I call you Tobes?
Tobes is fine, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
It's crazy.
Sweet.
I've got a 4-letter name, and people are always trying to shorten it. But my wife calls me T. She doesn't even use my name. It's just T. So,
yeah.
Well, if we said it...
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I was just going to say, it's not really shortening it because it's actually adding an extra letter if you say Tobes.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if we say it backwards, he's
Ybot.
Spot.
Or Ybot sounds cooler.
Ybot.
Right.
The man who invented the Ybot. Lego sued him into oblivion, and then he came back 3 days later and rose from oblivion. That was somebody else. I'm sorry. Hey, look who's better, everybody. I feel better. Can you tell? Fuck.
Toby, he had the pneumonia.
The pneumonia.
With a P? With a capital.
The pneumonia is what the Latin phrasing of that is.
The P is silent, like the Q in fish.
Yeah, so 2 or 3 weeks worth of coughing up lung oysters and sinus steamers. I'm back on top, baby. At least for now, until it rears its hideous head again.
Yeah.
So, hey, Toby, everyone's coming on into the room. We've got quite a crew starting to show up here. Love it. In fact, oh God, I get called B a lot. Brenda Steele. BS. The old BS machine. And Richard Moniz finally decided to show up. But he's got that little easy chair we keep off to the side of the room. So that's his chair. That's his chair. So, Toby, why don't you tell our audience a little bit more about you, what you do, and what your approach is, and then we'll get into the hardcore questioning.
Yeah. So I've been in the digital marketing space for 12, 13 years now. Worked for a couple of different agencies, one boutique firm that I was with for like a decade, and then we got acquired by a larger firm. I went to that larger firm for a couple of years, left, went to another smaller, very boutique firm, and then ended up with Rock Salt, which actually is a couple of guys that I worked with. One of them I worked with for like 10, 12 years. Another one that I've worked with for like 4 years, and just excited to be doing what we're doing. We're building a really cool company, great client base, good employees. We're still pretty small. We're like 14 employees. But it's been a lot of fun. And I think my general approach is to do things in a way that's not real salesy, which is counterintuitive for a guy who's made a career in sales.
Sure.
It's understanding that people like to buy. They don't necessarily like to be sold to. And so for me, it's about just listening to people, understanding what their needs are, and then helping them find solutions. And if we can be a part of it, great. If not, best of luck to you, but just try to be honest with people. And
I like that. It was almost like a hint of vinegar on that. Best of luck to you.
Yeah. Best of luck.
Best of luck.
Good luck. But also, like, marketing's tough because it's a game where people are constantly giving unrealistic expectations. And so you say whatever you have to do to sell the deal, right? It's a service business. It's all about recurring revenue. So just get the deal in the door and then let the fulfillment team deal with the aftermath. And I don't like that approach. Yeah. I'd rather like narrow down the pool of potential customers so that we get people that stick and stay with us for a long time.
Okay. Yeah. Right on, man. Well, welcome to Where the Dogs of Society, Howl. Thanks, and hey, just before we get into the questioning part, I just remembered what it is and how last time we spoke, you made us some kind of wacky bet, and it was like $10 if you can get Rod Christensen to swear.
Yes,
I'll give you $10 per swear, and then now I think you owe us like $40 or $50.
At least that I would think.
He cursed like a rum-soaked sailor on a Wednesday morning.
We have proof actually because we recorded the show, so we could actually play it back and count again.
I think it'd be awesome to just replay, like put it on a 4-minute loop of just Rod using swear words. Put that on YouTube. We can optimize it, repost it on LinkedIn. We'd love it.
You know what we could do is we could hack his phone contacts, and then everyone he's talking to as far as projects and stuff, we can leave him a voicemail. We can edit up his swears and just create voicemails that go out to them automatically. Or maybe we won't. Maybe we should focus on other things like this question. I don't know. I was going to ask you, when did you realize that you weren't just doing marketing anymore? You were really building something at Rock Salt?
Well, I think that was right from the get-go, to be honest. So I'll give you a backstory. Like three of the four in the leadership team here, we worked together as part of the executive team for another agency. But Rock Salt was sort of a side hustle for one of our main guys. I'm afraid to see what that link from Rod is. I don't even want to know. Rod, if that's what I think it is,
I think it's the new barbecuing one.
I will come to your house and kick your ass, Rod. I know where you live. If that's what I think it is, there's going to be a serious beatdown going on here. So
oh my God.
You guys, don't click it.
Don't click it.
And that's it for the show today, everyone.
Here. Oh my gosh, Rod, you suck. So this was like sort of a side hustle project that Ridge that I work with was doing. And it was funny. We were on a leadership retreat actually for the other company that we worked with. And he was like, hey, so I've got this side hustle. I'd love some help with like dialing in sales process. He's like, I'm not a big sales guy. I can get my way through it, but I'd love some help. He's like, even if you wanted to do some sales. And so I jumped in and started helping him with that. And a few months later, he was like, I have to quit my job so that I can do this now because they're getting to be enough clients, not all of which came from me, but like collaboratively, there was a lot of growth. And then I left and went to another company. Kirk left and came over to Rock Salt. I came on full time last summer. So we were always building towards something. It wasn't just about like selling some deals and making a little bit of extra money. It was having worked at an agency where like you really could sleep at night and then go to one where you really struggle because the service offering is not great. And my charge as the overseer of the sales department was to outsell the churn of the clientele. Like you just need to sell enough that we stay in the positive each month because you're losing 20 to 35 clients every single month. Yeah. To me, that was like horribly stressful and discouraging because you don't have a lot of confidence in what you're doing if that many companies are like, we're out of here. Mm-hmm. And so with Rock Salt, we took the approach of we just want to be really good stewards of what we're being asked to do for the clients we work with. But we don't do contracts for anybody. Our clients are on a month to month. They can leave if they feel that we're not doing a good job, but they don't. They stay. And I think I don't think there's anything but 5-star reviews for our agency anywhere, any platform you look at, Facebook, Google, anyway, all the different marketplaces where you can leave reviews where we've got them.
It's an interesting thing too, isn't it? Because we experienced that too. Before I became a partner at Brainardica, I had my own web development business, and we still have clients from that business simply because they were month to month and they weren't on any contract, right? They just had no reason to leave. They just came with me, and I think it's a psychological thing. Like, why would they go somewhere else?
Yeah. Well, and ultimately what you want to do is you want to create the kind of relationship that they feel like you're bought into their success.
Yeah.
And so if there's any way to put your skin in the game as an agency is to say, look, I'm not going to tie you down. If we're not doing a good job, I would fully expect you to go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so it puts the pressure back on us as a service department or a service team to say, we want to give you the best service possible. And that doesn't always mean the results you're looking for. I actually, right before this, coming on here to talk with you guys, I was on with a client who's got some frustrations. The performance of their campaigns is not where they want it to be. There's some factors that play into that. There were a few recommendations that we made for them that they didn't take up front. And now we're like, hey, remember when we talked about this 4 months ago and you guys elected not to? I think you need to revisit this. Mm-hmm. And so it's just about being willing to own when we fall short on something, but also just have real conversations. Marketing is a gamble, right? That's what everybody's hoping. They're hoping they spend money on whether it's SEO or paid campaigns or some amount of crazy creative or television commercials. You're spending money hoping that what you get out of it is business and sales, right? And revenue, but it doesn't always work. Right. And so as a service provider, being willing to say, hey, this isn't working, then at least we're owning that. And saying, look, we're invested in you guys being successful. So let's talk about what we can do to change this.
Exactly. One of the reasons why, sometimes we we push back. I freely admit we'll push back when we feel it's necessary. And if, you can't always, it doesn't always work out, but like, I think that you have to be able to tell someone up front, like, these are the recommendations because we've been doing this for a long time. And this is all we do, So we eat, sleep, and drink it and breathe it. And we're telling you the recommendations based on our experience of what the best options or best tactic or strategy is going to be. If you choose not to follow it, that's okay. But like, we have to put that down on as a note, because later, if you do come back and say, this isn't working and I'm not happy, we do have to go back and revisit that. And then a lot of these companies I find, or clients, brands, I look at it and I go, when a campaign doesn't work, the go-to cannot be more content or throw more ad dollars at it. That's not going to solve the problem. You have to go back and you have to look at what the signal or the story is, clarify all that shit, and then you can proceed. And then that usually, right? I bet you've seen this where, once you've kind of revisited those original foundational signals and what they're trying to say to whom, you start to see where the crack is, and then you know how to fix it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting because one of the questions that showed up here, Larry Livingston says, well, there are a million agencies offering the same advice. Where's the separation? And what you just said is the exact thing that we're trying to figure out for all the clients we work with. If you're a plumber in the greater Denver area, there's 100 of those companies at least, if not more than that. So why you? Why should they pick you? And it's about trying to identify what resonates with your target audience. And sometimes it's a cool brand. Sometimes it's the way you approach the messaging. Sometimes people want things that are very conservative. Sometimes it's people want something that's really kind of out of left field, that is very different.
That's right.
And they'll gravitate towards that. So find your shtick and lean into it, but don't go halfway.
You know what's interesting, and we did this with someone, it wasn't a plumber, but it was, I'll use a plumber as an example. Tony the plumber, there's 1,000 plumbers, hundreds of thousands of plumbers in that region. Why should we choose you? You all basically do the same thing. You probably all charge a good amount of money. And, you look at it, you go, your ads, maybe you don't have an ad or you don't know what to put for an ad. And you go back and you look at it and you say, what's the one, look at what your competition's doing. Look at what they're doing well. You should be doing that as well. But look at what they're doing poorly. And if, like, let's just say as an example, they've got reviews where people are bitching and moaning. They never call back. They never pick up the phone. That's your opportunity to take advantage of that and create the differential that maybe your next ad campaign says, we're Tony's Plumbers. Not only do we fix plumbing and leaks, we actually pick up the phone.
Yeah.
That's a thing where people go, oh, fuck, I think I should call them. Now, at that point, the expectation is you'll pick up the phone.
Yes, you've said it.
Right? Hey, Jeff, before you get to your question, we had a great question here from my good friend, Rob Unger, Bobby Buckets. Can we take a look at that and have Toby weigh in on this?
Yes. So just starting in this space, content ghostwriting, contract work, mostly sales for 10 years prior. What are some tips? How'd you make the transition?
Yeah, that's a good question, Rob. There's a couple of different approaches. I'll tell you what I think works and what I think doesn't work. And what I think does not work is just randomly sending emails to a bunch of agencies offering to write content for them. And the reason it doesn't work is not because they don't have needs for content writing. It's because we get emails like that from made up people and bots 15 times a day. It's out of control, which is a little bit like you were talking about. You mentioned some stuff with LinkedIn, like it's a real person. It's a real company. There's so much that's just artificial that, Rob, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a LinkedIn outreach from a picture that looks just like yours. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm willing to have a chat and see if there's, because maybe it's something we need help with, right? We may have a deficiency in our manpower to be able to get stuff done. So I'm opening up to talk to somebody. And then the person that shows up on the call, very different than Rob Unger. It's it's like, oh, I work with Rob, but he couldn't be here today, so I'm taking the call. And it's like
the bait and switch.
It's somebody from Bangladesh, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like we have overseas contractors. They're wonderful. They're great people. They do good work.
Yeah, just be who you are. Say who you are.
Just own who you are. So I think it's coming up with what your style is. How are you going to approach people? And then I think, like, I'll be honest, I don't know what general market you're in, Rob. I'd go out and talk to people. I'd find their offices. I'd walk in and talk to them.
Yep.
Because nothing will ever replace or grow faster than actual face-to-face interaction.
True.
You can do as much email outreach, LinkedIn outreach as you want, and your percentage of return is going to be.
I mean, Toby, have you seen Rob's face, though? I mean,
the picture for on here is pretty small. So.
I'm kidding. He's a beautiful man. If I may just add to that a piece of bad advice for you. Maybe it's good advice. I don't know. I'm not here to decide that. That's beyond me. Is maybe you offer your services as a human writing ghost. You just flip the switch. You just come across, write to them as a ghost who actually can do human writing. That might catch someone's attention.
Are you talking like the Slimer from Ghostbusters?
No, like a haunty kind of friendly ghost, but not Casperish.
Oh, Casper.
Like a ghost, an actual ghost that writes for humans instead of a ghostwriter.
Right. Nice.
That's an interesting take. Interesting take for sure.
It is. I know it's probably shitty advice, so don't listen to me. I don't know a lot. Jeff, I think it's time for your next question because I think we got Rob's, and now we'll see who else pops in, but let's get at it because I could see what's going on in the background here. We've got another good friend who's ready to get on in here and do some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of like, we were just talking about like startups, right? So when a startup says like, I need more leads or whatever, what do you look at first? Like in terms of like, how do you approach that in terms of helping them out,
Yeah. So one, I want to know if they've defined their brand, like if they have an identity, and if they can actually, if they can convey to me what makes them unique in their space. Like why should someone choose them? It's that in sales, we call it the elevator pitch. Like what's your 30-second elevator pitch? If you've only got from floor 1 to the 11th floor to talk to somebody, what are you going to tell them that's going to be most impactful? And if the answer to that is a stammer around, well, I mean, we do good work, then you've lost me already. So can you tell me why your brand? Because ultimately that's your selling point. As mentioned in some of these comments that we're seeing here, in any industry, you are not singular. There are 100 or 1,000 competitors that do the exact same thing you do. And some people will have had very good experiences with those competitors, and some will have had very bad experiences. So why should they pick you versus those other options?
Even when you get that dialed in, let's say, because we do this all the time, we'll build the website, right? But it's not Field of Dreams here, right?
Yeah.
And that's just gonna come. And so like in terms of like there's a whole next step that's so important, right? Because there's all these different places where they could come to your website, but you have to do something about it to get them there.
Yeah. I mean, you have to market yourself. And so I like the Field of Dreams commentary. Like it is not, if you build it, they will come. You do have to let them know you're there, and you have to let them know why they should come.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm a big believer. Again, I'm a huge believer in face-to-face interactions. I love trade shows. Mm-hmm. I love getting involved with chambers of commerce. I love trade associations. I love as a marketer. In fact, I've multiple times have gone to a manufacturers association, a trucking and transportation association, a attorneys association, a restaurant association. And I've gone to them as a marketing agency and said, what can we do to help you as an association? You're there trying to provide resources and support to the companies that are in that space. What can we do as a marketing agency to help you? And they oftentimes are like, well, we'd love to promote our events. Or I wish our website was updated. Great. Let us help you do that. And in exchange for that, as a marketing agency, give us access to your customer base, right? To your members. And let us provide some support to them. It strengthens your position as an association to say, we have a partner that can help with these things. And we even do things like create programs where, like if this association, if anybody from that association comes to work with us, we'll take 10% of what they pay us. We'll give it back to the association.
Ah, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
so that
great.
we can say, look, we're really supportive of your industry. You're part of this association. Working with us, we're going to give a portion of what you pay us. We're going to give it back to the association so they can continue to support you.
That's awesome.
And I think that like building those kind of partnerships go miles further than a couple $1,000s of advertising.
Right. I agree.
And it doesn't always mean that it comes to fruition right away, but you are establishing yourself as someone that's reliable and trustworthy and wants to support the success of those companies. So I like that approach. Go to the people and shake their hand, man. Most people are, in some sense, they're good judges of character. And when you shake hands with somebody, you sit and you share a meal, you talk with them for 5-10 minutes in person, you learn a lot about them. And sometimes what you learn is, I do not want to work with that guy.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That happens too.
And
We always compare that to a first date rather than a marriage.
Yeah.
You gotta sit down and have an appetizer with someone before you decide to buy a home and a mortgage and make kids. Right.
Right.
Let's switch gears for a second here. We're talking a little bit about, we mentioned startups earlier. Is there a startup growth myth that you're sick of hearing about or that you find to be horribly untrue?
No, not really. I think there's some truth to most myths. I think that people tend to exaggerate them in order to get attention, like through LinkedIn and TikTok and Instagram, things like that. Because if you exaggerate anything, it's going to get more attention, right? And so I think you see that with everything. Politics, economics, anything like that. You exaggerate what's really going on, it gets people's attention. So there's some amount of exaggeration that happens. But to be honest, I think there's some truth to most myths. Like you got to eat, sleep, and breathe it. Like it's got to be your baby. You got to love it. You got to push through the time when it seems like it's not working. And you got to be willing to pivot. Like not everything, you can have all the correct data to drive your approach to what you're doing. And then you get into it and you find out like, crap, that doesn't work. And you got two options at that point. You can either continue to do it and beat your head against the wall and continue to get not the result you're looking for, or you can pivot and say, okay, we were wrong on that. Now we need to shift and do something else. And I think you're better off shifting. One of the best business books I ever read was like, I read it on a flight from Denver to Salt Lake City. That's how short the book is. So if you're like me and doesn't like to read, I loved Seth Godin's book. It's called The Dip. Would highly recommend it for anybody. He literally just talks about the most successful people absolutely quit. Like, and there's this ideology of don't ever quit. Well, that's horseshit. You should absolutely quit. If it's not working, quit.
Yeah. Yep.
You just need to know when to quit. You need to know when you should or should not expend your personal and financial and emotional and mental resources for something that isn't going to yield the result you're looking for. But it does take hard work. You just have to know when you should do it and when you should change it up. So anyway, that was a long-winded answer. I'm long-winded. I'm a sales guy. I'm long-winded. Get over it.
We're all, you and me both, brother.
Bring in the wind.
So, what does your sales brain see that maybe the marketing teams missed out on? Is there anything in particular that sticks out from a sales? And because I know that in a lot of situations, people say things like sales and marketing shall never meet, but I don't think that's true. Is there anything though, as a salesperson, because I've found in my experience, I've realized that if you're not in lockstep and you're not having alignment with the sales team or the sellers on a project, you're screwed. So is there anything that sticks out for you?
I think just that exact thing. I think you have, as a salesperson, as a sales leader, as a sales team member, if you are not totally dialed in with process, expectation setting, and what the actual service is,
Mhm.
And not just like what's on paper. Like, are you talking to your fulfillment teams? Are you having conversations with them about what they are doing so that what you present in the sales lines up? The absolute worst experience you have as a consumer is to be sold something, handed off to somebody else, salesperson disappears, right? Because their job is to sell, it's not to manage clients.
Mhm.
Right.
And then as the customer, you feel like, whoa, I just had a 180 pulled on me because
Right.
he talked about what this sales guy or sales girl talked about is not what the marketing guy is doing.
Right.
So why are we so off base? So for me, I personally take a lot of pride in being able to have a kickoff meeting with a new client and feel super confident that in 5 minutes of the kickoff, I can hop off. And I know that what I have set expectations for that customer is exactly what they're going to get when they talk to Bridge or Scott or Kirk or Spencer, or anybody on my team, that we are in lockstep with that. And so I think that's a place that a lot of sales organizations fail, is that they become disconnected from what the actual service teams are doing. And I think it's important that they're talking to each other. Your sales process should be really, really closely monitored by your department leads for the services that you offer.
That's right. And honestly, that's the thing to me, that you get salespeople sometimes they haven't been given all the information, or the information they've been provided with is unclear or not clear enough. So, what they're left with is a set of jumbled signals, but then they're going out into the world to amplify that message, right? And in fact, what's happening is that they're recreating the message on their own in multiple times a week to other people, depending on who they're talking to, and then that's what breaks down. That's what doesn't work. And I think the fact that on your end, to jump in at the first end of that call and set the expectations and show us where the guardrails are and the direction we're supposed to be pointed in, that is brilliant, because that's such a help to the client, because now the client doesn't have to explain all of that. It's coming from this outside source, and it's really what drives the whole investment they're making in the marketing, in rock salt marketing in the first place.
Yeah. And the only thing I would add too is that some of the kind of agency gripes or whatever, and I experienced it myself when I was in like the corporate space, is that you get handed off to another team, and then those people kind of change over time, and you're constantly onboarding people about who you are as a brand and how how you do things and things you like and things you don't like, because they're so big of a company, they don't really have that personal relationship with you.
Interesting. Hey, you know what time it is, Jeff? Do you know what time it is?
I think I know what time it is.
It's 3 minutes past the deuce. So you know what that means, people. If you know what that means, type Cogs into the comments and we'll bring him in. If you don't type Cogs into the comments, I'm not bringing him in. He's going to sit in the green room and eat all the candy. So I haven't seen anything yet. I mean, for God's sakes. All right. Well, you know what? I take it back. I'm bringing him in anyway. So just hold on to your seats, people.
In other news, Robert Kogan.
Robert Kogan. Kogan has succeeded.
Kogan has just returned.
Welcome to Making Things Happen with Robert Kogan.
Hey, Robert.
Where's the fight?
Where is the fight? I know. I thought for a minute we were going to have Rod and Toby Tobes pulling the sweaters over each other's head and just delivering roundhouses. For those of you that don't know Robert, I don't know if you've been living under a rock or what, but or maybe just living in Iraq. Robert from Powerful Energy Inc. He's the Canadian border czar, CPG czar. So if you need a product into the Canadian markets, you call Cogs. It's 1-800-COGS. Am I right, Robert, or did I get that wrong?
Absolutely, yeah. I
want you to buy that, by the way. 1-800-COGS.
1-800-COGS.
It's not a number. It's not a phone number. It's a domain. It's a domain.
How are you?
I am. That's a long-winded answer there, guys.
Okay.
First of all, Utah Hockey Club in the back there. That is great. That is before the Mammoth was chosen.
Yeah.
Second of all, you might wonder why I'm holding this.
I am.
Big news.
Oh, hitting out of the park?
we're on day 11
Oh,
of zero smoke, zero vape after 40 years of being a cigarette junkie.
Hey.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
This
Good.
is my little fidget thing.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
This is what I need to keep going around.
Yeah, yeah.
I've worked
And
this thing for about 50 plus years, since I was like 7. And it's evolved. It's got good balance now. But now I want to ask you, Toby, have you ever been to an Ogden Raptors game?
I have. Yeah, man.
Oh, last season.
I didn't go last season, but I've been in the past.
You're going to go this season?
No, because I moved. I don't live in Utah anymore. I live in Nashville. Yeah, I live in the Nashville area.
yeah, you moved.
Well, I think my son's ticket company is going to be coming to Nashville. The big announcement is my son is sort of channeling my late father by doing some big stuff. And he got the Rocky Mountain Vibes in Colorado Springs, naming rights for the park. Unfortunately, the owner, with about 15 minor league teams, decided to merge and close the Rocky Mountain Vibes.
No, geez.
The other big accomplishment was the Ogden Raptors.
Oh.
And if you go to that Ogden Raptors site and you want to buy tickets, you're buying tickets through Block Tickets, my son's company, that
Very
my
cool.
girlfriend and I and our big badass boss partner helped fund. But that's not the big news for Block Tickets, everybody.
Congratulations, everyone.
It's now out on a press release that Block Tickets has a contract with a $3 million sponsorship with New Mexico State Aggies out of Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Nice.
It has been press released, and my son Harris is a complete demon. He's talking to a bunch of other teams in NCAA Division I now. And the calls have been coming in since the press release for the Las Cruces-based New Mexico State Aggies. This ticketing contract is not just for football, it's for all of their athletics. So congratulations to my son Harris.
Way to go. I
And,
love it, man.
It's an easy one to bring up since you have that Utah banner in the back, and that means you're a hockey fan.
Huge
So,
hockey.
Yeah. So Richard Moniz, Gavin, and some of us guys that like hockey would love to see the Rob Toby scuffle. Gloves down. No helmets, though. The hockey fights with the helmets. That
Right.
just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it just hurts my knuckles just thinking about it. But fortunately, I know where Rod lives. When I lived in Utah, I lived like a mile from Rod. He and I were pretty close.
I
and
see.
so I can fly back and sneak back to his house and wait around the corner from his garage. And I
But
can
it's got to
probably
be on skates on ice, and then I got to come in with the striped shirt to make sure I stop it before anybody gets hurt.
Yeah, I'll even tell his wife, "Hey, I'm hiding by your garage. You should send Rob in the back a project, and I will."
We'll bring a lawn chair for her to watch too.
The show has taken an odd turn once again.
Whoa.
Okay, now I want to go after, not after, but I want to explain to some people what the hell is rock salt about. Let me tell you what rock salt is. Okay, we have Himalayan pink salt, we have iodized salt, we have rock salt. Rock salt. It's not edible. It's made with other things. It goes into the backs of trucks, into these spinners, and coats the roads. So less of a chance. It's such a gritty type of thing. And that's how I understand the choice of your name of firm. Am I close, Toby?
Sort of. It actually comes from an old Bob Dylan song, but
Oh,
yes, it all comes together. It really does.
it is that grittiness, though.
Yeah. It's
Which
just
Bob Dylan song?
you know what? You asked me the wrong question.
Okay.
That's a question for my buddy Ridge.
You know, we'll drop a note to Timothy. What's his name? Charmaine?
Chalamet.
Timothy Leary? Is that what he's
No, Timothy Charlemagne.
Chalamet, the actor.
Chamonix. That's right. Chamonix. Think of
Charmaine.
Charmin, and then just think of A. Chamonix.
Don't
The toilet
squeeze the
paper
charm.
and the vowel mixed together. What do you got? This handsome little devil named Timothy Charmaine. Anyways, I forget why we're talking about him, but we're not. Back to Robert. Back to Toby. Go.
So one thing I want to emphasize is you guys are talking about the thousands of plumbers and thousands of marketing companies. It's all relationship connection.
Absolutely.
And that's how most business works.
Yeah.
That's my answer to like, hey, how do you develop your clientele? Relationship. And like you said, you sit down, you got to like each other's face.
Yeah,
I mean, How could you not like Peter's face? Look at Jeff's face. Look at that little teddy bear face. Jeff, can you straighten out the Jeff? Yeah, straighten that out. I'm a big hat guy.
You
Okay?
know,
Hip hopper. Yeah,
I
straight.
think
Yeah,
it was,
he gets a
I
little.
think it
He
was
always gets a little
somebody-
off skew.
I like that. Somebody said in the comments that they want to know where the hat is. I'll send you the link. I'll find it.
Well, you are known for the hats. I want not one. I want 4 of those pirate hats, and I'm going to go on Amazon and order them. But I'm worried about the size because one of the histories of hats are fitted hats by New Era. You want to get a real hat, you got to get a New Era hat.
Yeah,
And you've got to go size it. There ain't no snapback on New Era hats. They're sized. I got to give you credit, Jeff, because your hats are very, very good. They're very good.
Thank you.
Just like Peter's scarves and Peter's hairstyle. To rock that hairstyle as a grown-ass father, Peter, never heard somebody say, what the heck is Peter wearing his hair like that for?
I am what I am.
You bring it, buddy.
It's like Popeye.
I know, but it's like a shiny dome in the back. Don't make no mistake. There's nothing else back there.
Toby, that whole thing about which Jeff is an expert on and makes us laugh pretty much every week about is all those LinkedIn connections. You click the green arrow. Why not? It's LinkedIn, let's be connected. Next thing you know, you either get that AI or that suggestion on how great they are at redoing your website, doing your marketing, doing your TikTok, doing your freight, doing all that stuff. I just want to, and Jeff, you're going to like this. When are you buying a truckload of beverages? My answer.
Right.
Because they want to put their business on me. And I just say, yeah, here's my business on you. You buy a truckload, I'll hire you to do a website.
Yeah,
and that goes back to my point that just from seeing you talk and meeting you for a short 3 minutes because I was late. You go down as a good guy for meeting people. I can see in the comments, people that know you like to engage. And I can tell by your vibe and your ability to put words together without any ums or ers, like these two guys. I would look forward if I was on your list, and I would be looking forward to having a meeting with you because as a couple guys I know in the Toronto area and the Canadian market, like my son always says, and it's not his line, you got to like the face.
Yeah.
So you got to be comfortable, and I think that's great. What I would like to do to not talk about me so much, because I like to do a little 10, 15-minute thing. Sometimes I talk too much, long-winded, as you say. I didn't see a therapy last week for long-winded talking. But give us a story. Give us a good one that's a brand, that's a good success story. I could tell you about the home runs I hit to win a playoff game, 2 dongs. No one cares about that. I want to hear, and we all want to hear, a good example of a brand, if it's okay to talk about it. Yeah, because that's what gets us going.
Yeah. So I got the one that's on my mind right now is I've got we do a lot of work in some restricted areas, restricted marketing areas. So we do a lot of work in the firearm space, which some people don't like that. We love it because they're really restricted when it comes to paid advertising. They can't run Google ads. They can't run Meta ads. So it's SEO is what's that?
It's tricky.
It's really tricky.
Did the company Ruco, RUKO, ever cross your path?
Never heard of it.
Okay. Just asking. A schoolmate's family owns the company. They just sold it.
Gotcha.
Knives.
So we've got an ammunition manufacturer that we work with in the U.S. And they came to us a couple of months ago and were like, "Hey, we have this new product. We've partnered with an R&D firm, and they have a product that's supporting the military. And it's basically an ammo round that has." That fires out like a shotgun shell does. So you've got actual distribution, you've got pellets that spread out so they can take out drones. And so they needed branding, they needed a website, and they needed it fast. And I'm talking, Jeff, you'll appreciate this. When somebody comes to you and says, we need a website and we need it in like a week, you're like, holy crap, what are we doing here?
That's awful.
They needed it so fast. And we took care of all the design work, got the website built. It's a killer website, by the way. And then they were like, oh, and we have the largest firearm show in the world is in 6 weeks. We need to have our booth completely redesigned. Could you guys do that too?
Oh my God.
We're like, well, when do you need it? And they're like, well, it was due yesterday. So every day we get charged an overage fee. And anyway, we put the design together. They were able to get it put together. And at the trade show, it was huge. They were so busy. And so they've gone from not existing to like they are rocking and rolling. A really cool brand called Drone Round Defense. So you can check them out, dronerounddefense.com. Really cool website. Very cool product.
Very specialized.
Yeah, and cool people.
Toby, I got to tell you, my son convinced me to do a cottage rental, which has now become my home, basically up north of Toronto on Georgian Bay. A drone just showed up and stopped. Yeah. I would have loved to have that with my firearm license in Canada, which is a lot tougher to get.
It's the Border Patrol.
Your country. And I would have loved to have that.
Yeah.
Are you sure it was a drone, Robert? Are you sure?
It wasn't the little green man.
There's no little green men, Jeff. Come on. Now.
Peter, actually, you were one of the suspected drone captains on that drone. I just thought you might.
I know. Actually, I was, because of the nature of the conversation, I was going to say, Toby, let's get together. Let's do a dual pitch. I'm thinking aromatic ammo. So, yeah, you get shot. Yeah, it hurts. You might even die. But at least it smells like a hint of vanilla and lavender.
Yes.
You get the vanilla and lavender and not the smell of copper pennies.
Sort of like that nice. It's deadly accurate, but it smells of rose petals.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
There you go. All right.
Nice bouquet.
So, that was a creepy thought, and I'm sorry I shared it. Truly, I am. There will be a special place in hell for me.
Yes,
hey, Peter, let's take like 2 minutes, and then I'll go into listening, laughing mode.
Oh, go for it, baby. Go for it.
That whole thing about the intro, I guess we should answer the question, right?
Right.
CHFA West, Canada Health Food Association. Shout out to Aaron Skelton. Shout out to the whole team up there, Sonia, Jules, and a bunch of others. They put together a raw-cast show. Now, it's only one building, unlike Expo with 6? But it was great. Melting Forest had a great show. We had all of the plans that we've been working on coming together. We were a little early. We had a week or two, but I didn't try to get an IQ bar booth set up. Didn't even bring the pop-up banner. But IQ bar was pretty much an instant purchase for every customer, whether they're 1 store, 10, or 30 stores. We've got 3 SKUs coming out in Canadian labeling in about a month. The almond, the chocolate, the peanut butter, the top 3. And with Melting Forest and all the excitement that we got there, we got a lot of great response from IQ Bar. And most of us are heading out to LA and taking that 1.5 hour cab ride to Anaheim. And basically doing what we call like an overdose, like bar mitzvah buffet, 36 meals and 1 meal. And we're all going to end up eating 3 or 4 meals, like 4 times over the 3 days. The 3rd day is a bit of a dud where everyone starts packing up and closing out, and they close at 2. So it's really 2 days. But Expo, go Expo, and good luck to every brand that's going out there. And good luck to every service provider in making sure they step aside when there's a customer coming to the booth. Sure. That's a whole other episode. There's been a lot of posts on it. So I look forward to getting back out there and seeing my partner from Seattle, Ehab, and my partners all over the country, and spending some more time at the Melting Forest booth and spending no time at a few other booths that are complete low-level schmendricks that utilize these opportunities to pull off scams. But we're going to focus on the good guys. The good guys. And there's a lot of great guys. Ginger Bugs from Canada is going to be there, a great brand that Stevie D, who we all know and love, is handling operations and COO work. Watch what Steve Dontigny, formerly of Cove, which made some noise thanks to Steve. Watch this Ginger Bugs momentum. Megan and Bren, like most founders, nuts, crazy, but that's what we love. Steve is the guardrail railroad, and we know how big Steve is on the margins, how big Steve is on ops. I can't wait to see what results that Steve brings to the table with your affiliations. I'm sure Jake and Nick, and we know Mike Fat is going to be there running around, taking videos and making sure everybody knows what's going on with Mike. And we know that a bunch of other Canadian rock stars are going to be there with all you American and global rock stars.
Bring it.
Yeah. So now's the time when I shut up and let you guys do your stuff and just keep swinging the bat. And whenever you guys say something that's funny, you'll see me going, ha ha. So
Love it.
What happens if we say something that's not funny?
Oh,
I'll go like, what the hell? So
I
I
just
just
want some
about
some
Toby.
more
We're here for
donuts for
Toby's
the green
business
room.
and to learn more about Toby and Brand Artica. And I'm doing great these days at keeping the staying in the guardrail. So,
There you
Toby,
go.
one story, firearm company. That sounds great.
Yeah.
What other topic, Peter or Jeff, can we throw at Toby to like?
Well,
give us
I
some-
just want to, first of all, commend you on the stopping smoking. That is a hard thing to do. I've done it. I failed at it. I've done it again. Failed, done it, failed, done it. I'm pretty good at not doing it now.
It's actually a good analogy for our business. I was 0 for 420.
Yeah, man. It's
And now I'm 1 for 421.
But you'll see a difference. I think you if you don't see a difference just yet, you will see a difference.
I do.
Anyway, awesome job, dude. Yeah. So what else are we going to talk about? And by the way, Toby, if you haven't tried Melting Forest yet, it's pretty damn awesome.
Okay.
And for anybody that's in a sort of a designophobe kind of mood, the packaging design is super cool. I really admire it. And I think that what I really like about it is that textured can. It's not just a sticker label. It's like painted on, which is fucking cool. Hey, what do you know about Legos, Toby?
What don't I know about Lego?
That's the answer we're looking for. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
So what is the building Legos, taught you about building teams or building systems? Anything?
Well, so building Legos is a really interesting hobby to get into as an adult. And there's a whole like online community for adult fans of Lego. And now there's a lot of other companies that are coming out now that Lego's patent has expired. There's all these other brick makers that are coming out, and they do a fantastic job, by the way. And so for me, what I probably have learned is that just because you don't understand what's happening right here of what you're looking at doesn't mean that there isn't sense to it that will come around later. And so when I think about like my team operations, like I've been in the digital marketing space for over a decade. I know quite a bit about SEO. I know quite a bit about paid media. I know a lot about design and development, like running a web ops team. But I don't know everything about that stuff. So sometimes I have to rely on other people to give me the inside track or help me understand why my thought process here is incorrect. And some of that, I think, I look at how I build Legos, and sometimes I'm building it and I finish a section and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, how is this going to factor into this thing later? And then, 400 processes later, I snap something in place and now it all comes together.
Right.
Yeah.
Just because you don't understand something right now doesn't mean it isn't going to make sense.
Now
My daughter loves Legos.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I mean, it's always been it's always been something I loved growing up. My son really loved it. But here's the thing. I'm going to flip it for you. So what is the business version of stepping on a Lego at 2 a.m.?
In the dark.
That's really good. Okay, I'm gonna say this is gonna be a crazy not a long-winded answer, but it's a long thing. So if we're taking the analogy of when you step on a Lego, it seems like it came out of nowhere. It hurts like hell, and you're pissed.
God.
You're pissed about it. You're pissed because somebody left it there.
The 2 seconds before the hurt. Remember that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But there's also there's the why did this happen? Who dropped this? Why didn't they pick it up? All these things, right? So let's go to an agency. I think that the place where you get the same kind of reaction is when you as a business operator do not document process. You regurgitate something to an employee, and then when you find out that they have been doing something totally different, i.e. you stepped on something that hurts like a mother effer, you're super frustrated. Like, why did this happen? How did you get so far off base? I'm a big believer in defining your processes. You have to leave room for flexibility. This is not like this is the only way, this is the absolute truth, but you have to have guidelines as to how you do things. Otherwise, you've got no right to be upset or surprised when shit goes off the rails later on.
Right.
You have to have something to hold to. Even if the conversation is, this is our general process. If you think it should change, let's change it. Let's have a conversation about it. And, you know, Peter, when you were introducing me earlier, you said, I think it's cooperative for Rock Salt Marketing Cooperative. It is. And we do that because we want our employees at all levels to come in feeling like if they have an idea, a change in process that will make us more efficient and more successful, that we can talk about that and consider it and put it into place. Because things change. People come with different perspectives. And you may look at something and say, that's stupid. I can't believe they're doing that. So I just think you have to define your processes. You have to document what that is and leave it as a living document. Not that we defined this once, it's never changing, because we know in marketing, nothing changes.
Right.
It's an expectation thing, right? So it's okay if you think there's a way to improve a process.
Yeah.
But you can't just go and do it without telling anyone about it.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's when shit gets hairy.
That's right.
Yeah, that could be the question of the year, and the way it applies, the way you just like turned it into a real life situation, Toby, with that answer. The part that we all have, which is like a little baby tantrum, who put it there? They deserve to. Fuck, they're going to get a talking to.
Yeah.
And then you calm down a minute later and realize, who cares? It was one of my kids. It might have been me.
Right.
But the way that you applied that to how we respond to things that don't work out well, it's very important, because we all want to have a baby tantrum and then chill down.
Yeah.
Be real.
Okay.
Have a little baby tantrum if you're allowed, like, which I'm known to do once in a while. And
I don't see that. I don't see that in your personality.
No,
I have a hard time
Robert,
Mr.
don't
I'm
lie.
with a baseball bat.
Robert is like a soft, cuddly little lemon bee combination. Like, you just want to hold him in your lap and hug him.
And I also know a little bit of showbiz now because of these guys. I want to make a little announcement. Whatever question that you guys are going to come up with the prize, we've had a lot of Melting Forest, a lot of IQ Bar, a lot of Moosh this week with no permission from Paul, the owner. It's a brand called Icing, IICING. I happen to have stolen a few samples from Paul while we do some fulfillment in the States. So this week's prize is going to be a bottle of 5 bottles of 5 flavors. It's a flavor enhancer.
So did I get that right? 500 bottles.
Cases.
500 pallets.
Truckloads.
Fuck it. You know what? Here's the deal. This week's prize is you become the new owner of Icing.
Yeah.
And Paul's out.
Paul's done.
Paul hasn't been here in a while, and he's here now. And now he's like, "Oh, this is why I don't."
What just happened?
This is why I don't bother with this shit. Jeff, do you have a trivia question for us? And
yeah, so I'm going to make this easy because we can keep stumbling. I'm going to make
the ingredients of a Reese's peanut butter cup.
No. This is even easier. So all the people that are in the comment section, this one's super easy. You have to guess a number from 1 to 10. What number is it? I'm making it easy.
I was going to say, why don't we do colors that rhyme with Urple?
No, that's like an M&M question.
Colors that rhyme with Urple for 10,000. All right. Well, while you all think about that, I just want to take a quick mention today of our show sponsorship, or co-sponsor, if you can. This is the brand new product. It's America's favorite water in a wet can, with an asterisk that I believe it's because nobody's ever fucking said that. This is Wet Can. Wet Can water, not to be confused with Freebird. It's Wet Can. It's yes, Wet Can. And yes, it's fucking orange water in an orange can. Do we need to put an orange on the label? No, it's pretty damn obvious. Same with the cran water, the lime water, and of course, not grape, but lavender water, because America asked for it and we want to make sure they get it. Thank you. You can find that wherever great water is sold in a can, except for in stores or online. Okay, that's enough of that. But Jeff, did we get the answer?
Not yet.
God
Nope,
damn it,
no
people.
answer.
It's only 10. Between 1 and 10. How can you not have it?
I know.
That was as much as I had.
Who is
keeping
not
an eye on
typing
it here?
all
All
numbers?
right. Hey, while they're thinking, racking their brains on this, and we're running out of numbers, kids. Toby, where can people find out more about you and Rock Salt Marketing Co-op?
Yeah, so we're rocksaltmarketing.com. You can check us out on our website. You can come connect with me on LinkedIn. I am fairly active on LinkedIn. Yeah, that's kind of it. We have a couple of trade shows that we're going to be doing here in the next couple months. I'll be in Houston for one. I'll be in Chicago for a couple of shows. I'm speaking at a small business expo in the Chicago area, doing an outdoor con in Chicago in June. So I'm around, but the website's a great place to check out the company. If you want to connect with me, hit me up on LinkedIn. I'd love to chat. Yeah, it's always good to increase the network and find people that are really good at what they do and widen the net, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And sorry you couldn't find any people that are good at what they do here and during our show. It's just 4 of us here are just kind of trying to blindly find our way all through life. Anyway, no, it's great having you, man. And, you know, this was the second time we've had a chance to talk. I'm hoping that next time I get down to Tennessee, I'm going to look you up and maybe hide out by your garbage cans and wait for you. I'll call Rod and tell him to meet me there.
Yeah.
It's really been a pleasure, man. Jeff, anybody get the damn number yet?
Well,
We know
I'm running out of patience.
Scott Fisk kind of cheated. He just ran all the numbers across and the answer.
Scott Fisk wins.
No rules, Jeff.
Wait, it wasn't 12? Was it 12?
No,
I said 12.
It was 8.
Did anybody guess 8?
Yeah,
course,
he did.
it's down,
He
Jeff,
put all
crazy
the
eight.
All right,
numbers down.
then Scott gets it.
All right, Scott's
So,
the
hey,
winner.
again, Robert, always good running through the woods nude with you, so to speak. That's what this was like a dog pack. Dogs don't wear clothes. Anyway, Toby, you're the best. Thanks for coming on, man. We needed clarity. We needed some execution and some straight talk on how sales, marketing kind of need to be in lockstep. And if anybody out there doesn't know Toby, fix that damn shit right now. He's on LinkedIn. You can find him. And if you don't know Jeff, I, or Robert, well, get on it, get to know us, and click the old connect button. We'll do that too. And if you want to rip into your brand signals, your message, any of the stuff that's killing the conversion for your brand, you know where to find us. All right. And we'll catch you all next time on Where the Dogs of Society Howl. Our guest, Jeff, next week is...
I'm not prepared.
8. The number 8.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's the number.
Sir Elton John?
No, actually, it's Melanie Borden.
Melanie Borden, my favorite. She's got a brand new book out called Theater of the Mind. And she is one of my favorites. She's big time, but she's not so big time that she doesn't talk to people like me. She's awesome. And I think you guys are going to love her. She is a personal branding. I don't want to say guru because that's a dumb word. So I'll say she literally is a specialist and she is an expert. And I think you're going to really enjoy the conversation that takes place with her. Okay. So that's it, people. We're going to close this out here and we're going to do that weird, awkward pause. The 4 of us on screen will all do whatever we need to do to get through the rest of this weird pause. And the rest of you kind of can sit there and watch us. Hi, Joshua. You're so damn late. You too, Stefan. God. 6-7. Cute. All right. This show's coming to an end. I'm pressing the end stream button. Let's see how long it takes to go.